This one on the top, all the way to the left is Fitz Amaria Vixen. Am I saying it right?
Yes.
Amaria Vixen. I'm not gonna say class and race. You're gonna find that out during the fucking thing. You can see pretty much the races. I mean, it's not really much of a. This French dude over here is Dervon, played by Hockey. The Drow elf you see before you is Ayala Vazana, played by Woola. This shady-looking character over here is not shady, it's Art, played by Harmless, who's currently not here. The one that looks kind of flat-faced, like somebody hit him with a brick in the face, that's Reyes, played by Blueberry. This one is currently Snadani, he's not here. This one is, this one is Schneider, the other one is Nadani, they're both not here. I also don't have their character names. So, you know, figure that out.
Wait,
this pretty, very attractive half-orc, dressed in a robe, is Terry, also known as Volton Gorogak, played by Laddie. This Teletubbies over here is Deshaun Acrimorn, played by Shady. Over here we got Thorian, the fat dwarf, played by Yarden. And that's it.
The last guy is...
Oh yeah, that's Kell Blackwater, played by Zach. And this is the world map, played by me. The dust has settled. The world is once again in peace, although, as always, something is brewing underneath. King Valen and his brave army of mixed races struck a deadly blow to the forces of the Gith and their demon lords, breaking the magic that sent the world plummeting into darkness. After the apocalypse, after all the death and destruction, the land of Faerûn is a land divided, split into smaller kingdoms. The Seventh Sanctum and the Red-Winged Colt have crawled back into the depths of Anarok and the High Ice, where they reside still. Mistrust and anger has sparked in the hearts of all those who aided in the war, but received no recognition. A political turmoil is afoot. Lords, kings, and queens fight for dominance over the Faerun Council and the ultimate seat of power. The dwarves have burrowed back into their mountains, and the elves back to their woods. Half-orcs and tieflings have took hold of their own little corners of the world, and the newly placed Fae residents, the Eladrin, are slowly growing in power. The Kingdom of Cormyr, currently the strongest kingdom in the land, is broken with grief over their fallen king, and are now led by his youngest daughter, Queen Loriana Oberskier, holding her position with an iron fist, although the little queen is fragile. The crown forced upon her and the responsibility undeniably greater that she can hold on her own. She sent out her bravest of knights to find a single item, her father's memory stone, believed to contain the last wishes of the king and his dying request. The queen has offered much riches for those who would find it. But our story takes us on a different path, to a tale not so deeply immersed in diplomacy, a story of the common folk, individuals who, if possible, will change the face of this land, for better or for worse. Our story begins in the outskirts of Arabelle, the capital of Cormyr, where an old cleric is gone to visit a long-dead brother's grave. Kell. You arrive at the outskirts of the city of Cormyr, a graveyard for the recently departed soldiers from the war as well. You are looking for your brother's grave. You don't know where he's buried, but you do know it's in this cemetery. What do you do?
First of all, what's the building dead ahead of me? That looks like there's a guard outside.
The cemetery building is the main building where they work on the graves. There's a small chantry there. If you walk in, you'll see it.
Right, I'm gonna walk up through the gates here.
Alright.
Do I get stopped and challenged?
The guard looks at you and doesn't do anything, but just looks at you.
Okay, I carry on walking through. And okay.
As you walk in, you can see the grave is kind of foggy a little bit. It's early morning right now. You can see people over here are. There's a ceremony going on. A couple of people just standing there crying a little bit. While on the other side, you can see more graves, some catacombs. Some of the names on the graves are actually smeared off or not even existing.
I suppose I'll start inspecting the graves, looking for my brother's name.
Right. As you do that, one of the clerics over here will approach you. Excuse me, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for the name of a man called Faerûn Calderon.
Faerun Calderon. You might want to go in and talk to the priest inside the building. He has all the listings of the graves.
Okay, thank you.
May you have a blessed day.
I walk off and down to this building.
The building itself is revealed to you. It's a simple stone building. You can see that there's a small ceremony is held in one of the entrances there. You can hear him talk, and there's a small crying in the side. You do smell a bit of a smell of decomposing flesh. But I'm guessing it is a graveyard, so there might be some dead body here that they're working on right now.
Is it? I take it the ones down below me are giving a sermon.
Yeah, he's currently giving a sermon.
So I'll walk to this person. What does he look like? Does he look like a guard, or is he a priest?
He's a guard who's currently roaming around, but you can also see him currently looking at the paper. He didn't notice you yet. He's just looking at the paper and reading it.
I approach the guard, and what time of day is it? Morning, afternoon?
It's early morning.
Okay. Morning, guardsman. I'm looking for the supervisor of the graveyard.
He just doesn't even lift his head from the paper and points to the building to his right, to the door to his right.
I thank him and walk in.
The smell of decomposing flesh gets stronger in here. You can see a body laid up on a table. It's been badly wounded by something that you think might have been an animal. And you can see a priest kind of working on the bindings of the body.
What does the body look like? Is it
It's
an
a
autopsy
human.
or no?
It's
But I mean, like, what's it doing on the slab?
It's guessing that it's a post-autopsy. You can see the little cuts on the chest. That's kind of where it was opened. And right now they're sending it to binding to be buried. You can see the casket behind there, waiting for it.
Oh, okay. I walk up to the priest. Is he busy on the body at the moment?
He is kind of contemplating as to how to do his work.
All right. I walk up to him and say, "Morning, priest. Do you have the list of names of the people in the graveyard?"
Oh, who are you? List of names of... Yes, of course I do. I'm the head priest. I welcome you to our cemetery.
Interest. What are these priests of just a god in particular, or?
No, they're priests who work with the dead. They usually don't hold any god because of the fact that they need to pray for all the people.
Okay.
So they're kind of godless, in this sense.
Fair enough. Yeah. Where was I? Asking him for the registry for the graveyard.
Yes, I do have one. He kind of turns a bit and walks to a little table over here. He ramages through and he picks up an old book covered in kind of a black purple cover. He opens it up, looks at you, and asks the name.
Calderon.
Calderon. He kind of switches through the papers slowly. Calderon. Calderon what?
The Calderon's the surname. Tamarian.
Calderon Tamarian, yes. He is buried in row 4, The first one to the left. The road to the east. The graveyard to the east.
Row 4, first one to the left.
This one.
Oh wait, can you? Okay, I go to the grave.
The priest just waves you away as he's you rushing in.
I say my thanks and leave.
As you approach the grave, you can see the grave has been already dug in for several weeks, even several months, even. There is no name displayed on the grave itself. It just has a little mark of a number. You really don't know why they're doing it. They just have markers. You can see the graves next to him. Some of them have names. Some of them just have markers of numbers and letters.
Do I notice anything left on the grave or on the tombstone?
You do notice a small word underneath and it says died with honor in combat, and in sense like Valen, King Valen, kind of a stamp.
Right. I'll kneel at the grave and I won't speak out loud.
Alright, so you just kneel at the grave and you kind of take your time with the environment.
Yeah.
As you do that for several minutes, you notice you can hear footsteps behind you, and one of the guards that you've met in the hall, which wasn't really looking at you, kind of approaches you, and he's eyeing you kind of weirdly.
Okay.
You there?
Mhm.
You. Do I know
Yes.
you from somewhere?
Do I? Does he? I mean, I'm asking generally, like, do I recognize this person?
Roll perception.
Perception, done.
You do. You have treated him before.
Ah. In the war?
In the war, yes.
I'll bluff and say, no, I don't think you do.
You do look familiar. I think you were the medic. Weren't you?
What medic would you be referring to?
I remember you. I am not dumb. I have seen you before. You treated my leg. I remember that face. You are a traitor.
Hardly.
You ran away. You're a traitor. You're a deserter. Guards!
I try and flee.
Roll a dex save. They will try to grab you. You do manage to run away from his grasp, only to notice that the gates are slowly closing down on all the sides. See, the guards are slowly imposing the entrances.
Okay, so I've run past him. What does that lead to?
Guards! Catch him! Catch him! That leads... You don't know where it leads to. You probably think it's gonna be a catacomb of some sort. Stay your hand, priest. Stay your hand, medic. We won't harm you if you stop.
I draw my sword and back to the stairs.
Please roll perception. Let's see what's in the stairs. You're rolling really high today. As you look behind you, you can see that the catacombs are basically, there's a small room there. It's lit by a single torch, and there's like a little casket, an open casket, which is empty right now in there, but the room is a dead end.
Is there any other way out the graveyard?
None that you can see.
Ah. Yeah, I know when a deer set you up in a trap. I'm going to have to succumb, because it's either going to end up me in worse charges. So yeah, I'll sheath my sword, hold my hands up.
The guard that saw you before comes to you. He takes your weapon, puts it on himself. It kind of takes you by the shoulders and says, "Don't worry, you have saved my life. I will see that they don't do anything bad to you. But you're gonna have to go to a cell in Cormyr for a few days."
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, but it's my duty to report these kind of activities.
Yeah, I should
And
have just
with
let you die.
And with that, he kind of takes you in. You see the guards kind of drag you in, and you're slowly being dragged away to another place. And with that, we're gonna be done with you. We'll be moving on to a different place.